Hey guys, here we go again. We are getting it kicked off for the new year. I feel like I haven't done a video in so long. First off, I want to thank you guys for supporting me, for watching my videos, and I truly hope that you learn. Now, always remember this: if you have any questions about anything, especially if you're in school or you're studying for state board, feel free to ask. The only thing that I would encourage you to do, though, is make sure that you watch the entire video, because 9 times out of 10, the questions that you have, the answers were in the video, but you didn't watch the whole thing. So I kind of don't like answering questions that I've already answered in the video, because that means you're not watching the video. So anyway, let's get started here. History and career opportunities. Now, the one thing I want to encourage everyone who's learning, even if you're licensed, if you're studying for state board, is always continue your education. Just remember that while you're in school, this is the beginning of your lifelong journey of learning to perfect your craft in cosmetology, whatever in cosmetology you want to specialize in. If you don't want to do everything, but just always remember, whatever it is you want to learn about our industry, go to shows, continue your education. Very important. So this is chapter 1 in the Milady textbook. The objectives: the students should be able to describe the history of cosmetology, explain how beauty affected different cultures, and to identify the progression of cosmetology in different eras. So Africans and Egyptians. Now, I have to just throw my little 2 cents in here. Honestly, I don't understand why Africans and Egyptians are separated when Egypt is in Africa, but I guess I have to think about like America, how if you're a Texan, but you still live in the United States. If you're a Californian, you're from California, but you're still from the United States. So I guess that's why. But technically, this is all part of the African culture. Africans had a variety of hairstyles. There's braiding, all kind of different styles they had that were used to make statements of tribal traditions. So that included their age, their marital status, their religion, their power, where they ranked in the society. Red earth was used to color the hair along with head dressings, and that was a symbol of their stature. Egyptians, which is in North Africa, were the first to bring extravagant beauty and a fashionist culture. So what I thought was fascinating was that Queen Cleopatra took the beauty to a whole nother level when she had her own cosmetics factory down by the Dead Sea. And I just wish that I could go back in time and see that portion. That is so amazing and awesome to me, because this is in ancient times here. Now, there was insects used, berries, henna to stain face, hair, and nails. And even today, people use henna to stain their hair. And they do those little henna tattoos on their skin for certain ceremonies, even weddings. So I just find it interesting how they were ahead of their time. Essential oils. People use essential oils now, and plants as perfumes. So it's nice to know your history, and then it's also nice to see that even though we have all this technology, that the more things change, they really don't change. It just is in a different disguise, I'll say, because we're doing the same thing today, really. Ages of beauty. So the Chinese tinted their nails. Now, I found this interesting and kind of scary. That was tied to their social status. So if you were a commoner and you were caught with a royal nail color, you would be put to death. So just think of red nail polish, which is one of my favorite colors. If you were caught in that in China and you are not of royal blood, you would be killed. The Greeks built baths and they had methods for hair, skin, and nails. The Romans used fragrances and cosmetics, and they had facials made of milk. And the Middle Ages used towering headdresses and intricate hairstyles. The Victorian Age, women used beauty masks and packs made from honey, eggs, milk, oatmeal, fruits, and vegetables, and other natural ingredients, all in the name of beauty and status. What I find fascinating too is the majority of all the ages of beauty, the majority is women. Beauty is a classic, and really it just gets better with time. Now, in the 1800s, 1872 to be precise, Marcel Gratteau invented what's called the Marcel curling iron. And if you've never heard of that, you should learn of that while you're in school. It's called the press and curl procedure. And you would be using, we call it a Marcel oven, where you would put the Marcel curling iron inside. They have Marcel flat irons, Marcel 3-barrel irons, and the pressing comb, though the pressing comb was not invented by Marcel Gratteau. The misconception about the Marcel curling iron is that it's only used by, or I should say, only used on African American clients. The truth is, you can use it on any hair type. You just have to know and understand what you're doing. Because at one point there were no other curling irons. There were no plug-in curling irons. What I do like about the Marcel curling iron, because of the heat, the curls stay for a long time, longer than any plug-in curling iron I've seen. And so that's the misconception. You just have to know, depending on the texture and density of the hair, how much heat you want to place on the hair and pressure. So sometimes the thicker the hair is, the more pressure you want to add to it, the more heat you want to add to it to really get that curl and get the hair smooth. The finer, the straighter the hair is, you do a lighter pressure and less heat, but still you want enough that would keep the curls in. And this is from experience, not from textbook, what I'm telling you. Now, what I found interesting in the 1920s, Marcel Gratteau actually continued his brilliant inventions with the electric curling iron, and I did not know that. Though the dates, I will say, are still in dispute, and this is all in your textbook. And it says he also developed a permanent waving machine, barber clippers, I thought that was cool, and other inventions. So now we're going down the timeline, which just shows you the classic part of beauty. In the 1920s, that was a booming time for our industry, the cosmetic industries, precisely because prior to that, it was thought that, only certain women of a certain career wore makeup, and that wasn't a good career. Your regular at-home mom type wife, lady, it just wasn't ladylike to wear makeup prior to this era here. But once the radio hit and there was ads, there used to be ads that it was bad for women to wear makeup. But once the radio hit, it became a huge thing for all women to wear cosmetics. And it wasn't no longer just centered on this one group of women who were looked down upon. So in the 1930s, the preheat perm method was introduced. Charles Refson marketed the first nail polish. He's from Revlon, or of Revlon. And the first permanent hair color was introduced along with the founding of the company named Clairol. By the 1940s, scientists developed another way of permanent waving without the machine. Now, if you look in your textbook, you'll find the machine. Let me see, on page, hold on just a second here. You will find that on page 11 with the perm machine. And it actually, so you would saturate the hair, roll it in these clamps, and the machine is a plug-in. Now the clamps, if you look at them, because we actually had one at the school I used to work in, which I thought was a historical piece and totally amazing to have in a school. But on the clamps it says 212, which really was how warm those clamps got. So it actually boiled the perming solution into the hair. And back then, the perming solution was all alkaline. There were no acidic permanent waving solutions. So, and no neutralizers too. So that makes me, the visual I get in my mind is the Bride of Frankenstein type look, because the hair had a permanent wave to it, but it was fried and blown open. So very wild looking, I could say. So now we have the permanent wave where you're just using a waving lotion and it doesn't use any heat. Therefore, it was called cold wave. From 1951 to 2000, we saw things like the introduction of tube mascara, improved versions of hair care product and nail products. Vidal Sassoon rocked the hair world with geometric haircuts. Hair weaving and foils were from the French. And the list goes on for our wonderful industry that we call cosmetology. And it continues to grow and improve, I believe, up to date. Exploring career paths for our industry, for cosmetologists. You know, I just like to open the minds of students who are learning about our industry, because I feel like when you come to school, you just kind of have this idea, you know that you like doing hair or makeup or nails, and you know you want to work in a salon, and some of you know that you want to own a salon, but you never thought that you could do all these different things. And I just feel, especially if you're younger entering our industry, the possibilities really are endless. And I've said it time and time again. And I don't know if anybody out there really hears me when I say this, but your possibilities are so endless. You can travel, work on cruise ships. There's so many paths, amusement parks like Disneyland, Disney World, Six Flags, haunted houses if you want to specialize in special effects, movies, of course, theater. You could have your own company, not just a salon or a spa, but you could have your own product line that includes shampoos, conditioners. It could be hair coloring. It could be your own makeup line, your own eyelashes, your own acrylic line, your own extension line. You could make your own wigs and sell those for thousands of dollars. So that's a whole nother thing. You could specialize in hair additions, which they call installs or toupees, and you could charge at least $3,000 to $5,000. So all these things you could do in our industry. There's the education part. You could be an educator, not just in school like me, but you could own your own school. You could find a product that you love and you could travel the world educating for that company. You could be a stage artist for that company where you're educating and demonstrating on stages at hair shows all over the world, fashion shows, all these things. You could be a specialist in whatever you want in this industry, from cutting to coloring, makeup, special effects makeup. You could be a waxing specialist. You could specialize in facials. All these things you could be a part of. And I forgot to mention nails too, because nails is a huge part of our industry also. You could write for this industry, blogs and articles, or have your own beauty online magazine. You could be a YouTuber like me and put up your own YouTube educational videos for our industry, tutorials. So you can do whatever you want to do. And I just want to encourage you guys to really open your mind and think of the possibilities, and just know that you'll never get bored if you don't allow yourself to get bored. And honestly, whatever it is you want to specialize in, never ever stop educating, yourself. And to this day, yes, I go to teachers' conferences, though I haven't been in a couple of years. I go to makeup shows because I like to always keep what's current with makeup and learn more about it. Nails, I go to nail shows or watch different educational videos. So always pushing those limits, because as the industry grows, as an educator also, I don't want to be stuck in one era, and you guys are younger and learning new things, and I want to be able to be there to guide you along that new path and never be stuck or rusty in this industry. So I just want to thank you guys for your support again. In the next video, we're going to be talking about what's new with State Board, because we have new things with that as far as the date changing for the new exam, which is why I haven't taken my videos down. And then I also want to get into a couple of Did You Know videos from Chapter 1. So all these things are going to be coming up, and I just want to thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my videos. God bless you, and I will see you next time.